Hello awesome viewers, welcome to AC Studio. Most of you have already seen my video on the Leviathan Dreadnought of the Imperial Fist by Joytoy, and in November last year I also got myself another Leviathan Dreadnought of the Ultramarines. To be honest, when it was released, I was saying to myself, I'm not gonna get it because it is very expensive, and I've already got the Leviathan Dreadnought of the Imperial Fist. But after Joytoy announced the release, the Ultramarines Suzerain Squad, I started collecting the Ultramarines 30k figures as well. Even though I did not get the tactical squad figures, but I cannot ignore the Leviathan Dreadnought of the Ultramarines. But luckily during November there was a Black Friday sale, so I got this in a reasonable price. So anyway, in this video we're gonna look at the Leviathan Dreadnought of the Ultramarines with the Cyclonic Melter Lance and Siege Claws. It is the same packaging as the Imperial Fist Dreadnought, so let's have a look of that. Alright, nicely packed in the box. Seems like the colors are very light. It is not very dark Ultramarines blue. Okay. So they got this foam piece, yes, in between the hands and the body, so make sure it won't scratch. And take this plastic away. Alright, so there it is. The Ultramarines Leviathan Dreadnought. Looks pretty good to me. Well, at first glance, I think this Ultramarines Leviathan Dreadnought definitely looks really good. I really like the colors as well. The Ultramarines blue, right? It definitely looks different compared to the typical Ultramarines blue that I see in the action figures. So I have the 30k Terminator and the Suzerain figure here, right? You can see the blue. If you look at the legs, for example, right? You can see the blue here looks darker than the Dreadnought one, right? I look at the colors between the Dreadnought and the Terminator as well. You see, the Dreadnought is a bit lighter, right? It is a different color. Another shot looking at the differences in terms of colors. You see, the blue of the Leviathan Dreadnought is lighter, right? Yep. And if you compare with the 40k Redemptor Dreadnought, you can see the Redemptor Dreadnought is still darker than the Leviathan, right? For example, here you can see there's a big, area with a blue here, and then if you compare to that, you see that is obviously darker, right? So you can see the differences here, right? Yep, one is lighter, one is darker. So somehow I don't know why the Dreadnought is painted in a lighter color, but I really like it actually. So I wonder, did the factory one of paint or what? But that's okay. I actually quite like the light colors. I think the light color looks good as well. And in terms of shadowing and highlighting, you can see they put the highlighting, the white highlighting on the edges as well, and they also put a bit of black shadowing on the details there, a bit of there as well. Yep. And on the legs, bit of black shadowing as well there, bit of there. Yeah, it's not too bad, not really obvious, but it looks good. And there as well on the hand, and at the back as well. And they also have the light blue or white highlighting on the raised edges as well, there as well. So they're everywhere as well. But again, similar to the Leviathan Dreadnought of the Imperial Fist, I mentioned that the highlighting is really rough, like they have done it in a rush in a factory or something, right? So that is as well. But I actually think the blue looks better than the yellow, right? The yellow is really rough when you look at it. Although this one has less green, it looks better than the Ultramarines one, right? The highlighting on the edge is better than this one. So yeah, don't know what happened, just inconsistency in painting as well. On the white colors, they did put in some of the black shadowing, as you can see here on the edge. And it seems like they got a tiny bit here on the knee. Not really obvious, but it's there. My understanding is the Ultramarines Leviathan Dreadnought, as compared to the Imperial Fist one and also the Sun Horse one, which I don't have here. The Sun Horse one comes with two close combat weapon. One is the claws, as you can see here, exactly the same claw on his right hand, and also the other one, and on the left hand is the Siege Drill. So that means the Imperial Fist one, Melted Lance, which the Ultramarines one actually got the same, but on the right hand is the Siege Claw. So what it means is Ultramarines one is the only one that actually got a close combat weapon, the Claw, and also a ranged weapon, which is the Melted Lance. So to me, this is probably the best one out of all three Leviathan Dreadnought, right? This one looks good with this cannon, and you got the Melted Lance on the other hand, but the problem is this is all ranged weapon. So to me, this is actually not that good when it comes to a diorama, because on diorama, you always want to show the figures, you know, having close combat with other figures. Because to me, I always want to show this figure close combat fighting with other figures, right? So for example, I like to, you know, having this Dreadnought and holding some horrors figure like this, you know, so it's more fun if you show like that, but you cannot do anything to this, you know, Imperial Fist figure. So that is why I actually like this much more. And also, you got a nice, you know, ranged weapon here, which I can also display it as it's shooting at, you know, the target or enemy, right? So that is why I think this figure is much better. And on the last video on the Imperial Fist one, right, I already showed the detail on the, you know, Melted Lance. So I'm not going to go through that in this figure. That's nothing really special, just a really nice, you know, big chunk of plastic. Nothing really special, no playable features on it, right? Something that I always want from a action figure. But this time on this Ultramarine one, we have the Siege Claws. So this claw, each of these, your blade can open and close, see? And it is actually tight enough as well, which is pretty good. It can only swing in and out, nothing more. It cannot actually do rotation, anything like that. So when you close this off together, that's how it looks like. Pretty cool, all that. So that's really nice. The details are very nice as well. We got all the rivets. Yep, and this blade is in silver color. Seems like it doesn't have any black highlighting at all, which I think they should put some of like black highlighting closer to the blue here, right? In the middle, I'm not too sure what it is. Maybe a flamer or whatever. Just let me know if you know what it is. Is that a weapon or just what it is? And the great thing is, it can rotate as well, which I really love, you know? And that is beautiful. So this hand is definitely a really cool hand to me. And you can actually just grab your figure, whatever you like, put it inside like that. So you grab a Sun Horrors figure like this. Yeah, so you can actually grab it and just like chuck it around.
Stop it. Get some help.
And for the rest of this figure, all the molding or the shape is exactly the same as the Leviathan one. The body, the middle part at least, as you know, the hands are different, but otherwise the whole body is the same. I just don't have much to say, except, you know, the colors are different as well, and all this playability or the articulation are the same as well. So not much differences. But one thing I discovered is the head, right? Previously in the Imperial Fist one, remember I said that this head, right, is actually made of soft plastic, so you actually compress it, right? But on the Ultramarines one though, I think they changed the plastic to hard plastic, so I cannot able to press down. So this is not a soft plastic anymore. So they're using hard plastic. So I found it a little bit tricky to actually turn the head sometimes. I don't know why. It shouldn't be, but it's just this one's just easier, right, to turn around, right? But this one's actually tighter, right? So yeah, but otherwise it's pretty much the same thing. So in the conclusion, although I've already got the Imperial Fist Leviathan Dreadnought, this Ultramarines one is a must get for myself. As you can see, I'm addicted to Ultramarines armies. You know, when I start, I can't stop. I've already got most of the 30k Ultramarines figures except the Tactical Squad, and compared to the Imperial Fist one, to be honest, I actually think this one is a better choice, unless, you know, you're into Imperial Fist. So, you know, then you have to get the Imperial Fist one, right? You won't get the Ultramarines one. And the Ultramarines one, to me, I think the blue painting is better than yellow. Maybe because yellow, you can see the mystic easier, as compared to a darker color. And as mentioned before in the video, the great thing about this Ultramarines one is it has a claw and the melted lance, so that it has a close combat weapon and also range weapon. You can use for range combat or close combat, you know, whatever you like, on flexibility of displaying your model, or you know, how you want to play the model as well. Now comes to the end of this video. I hope you like this video, and please give me a like for this little channel, and I will speak to you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.